First contact gone wrong. Captain Marcus Vale stood on the bridge of the UEC Defiance, watching the alien fleet emerge from hyperspace. 27 massive vessels, each one dwarfing his small exploration ship. The first contact protocols had been clear, but nothing had prepared him for this moment. The lead alien ship was a nightmare of twisted metal and organic curves. It pulsed with a sickly green light that made his stomach turn. Behind him, Lieutenant Jake Morrison worked frantically at the communications console, trying to establish peaceful contact. "They're not responding to our hails, Captain," Morrison reported, sweat beading on his forehead. "Their energy signatures are unlike anything in our databases." The aliens called themselves the Zephyrian Collective. They had been watching humanity for decades, studying Earth's violent history and brutal survival instincts. What they found disgusted them. Humans were too aggressive, too unpredictable. The galaxy would be safer without them. Without warning, the lead ship fired. A beam of pure energy lanced through space, striking the Defiance's port engine. The ship shuddered and alarms screamed throughout the corridors. Vale gripped his command chair as the artificial gravity fluctuated. Shields down to 60%. Engineering Chief Rosa Delgado's voice crackled over the intercom. "I can give you maybe 10 minutes before we lose everything." Vale made a decision that would change human history forever. Instead of retreating, he ordered a full attack. The Defiance was small and fast, built for exploration, not war. But Marcus had grown up in the asteroid mining colonies where every day was a fight for survival. "All hands, battle stations." "Morrison, send a priority message to Earth Command. Tell them we're under attack and fighting back." Vale's voice carried through the ship with grim determination. The Defiance dove between the massive alien ships, its small pulse cannons blazing. The weapons barely scratched the alien hulls, but they served another purpose. They showed the aliens that humans would not go quietly into extinction. 3 more human ships arrived within hours, drawn by Morrison's desperate transmission. The UES Relentless, commanded by Captain Diana Cross, and 2 smaller patrol vessels. They found the Defiance still fighting, somehow surviving against impossible odds. The battle was fierce, but brief. The human ships were outgunned and outnumbered, but they fought with a ferocity that surprised the Zephyrians. When the Relentless finally exploded in a brilliant fireball, Captain Cross had managed to ram her ship directly into the alien flagship's command center. The surviving human vessels retreated to Earth, carrying news that would unite humanity like never before. The galaxy was hostile, and humanity's very existence was threatened. But Marcus Vale and his crew had proven something important that day. Humans might be outgunned, but they were never outfought. The Zephyrian Collective expected humanity to surrender after this demonstration of their power. They sent ultimatums and threats, demanding Earth's immediate surrender. What they received instead was a declaration of war signed by every nation on Earth. Humanity had found its purpose among the stars, and they would not be denied their place. In the galaxy. The underground resistance. R. Nathan Cross, brother of the fallen Captain Diana Cross, stood in the hidden research facility deep beneath the Sahara Desert. The loss of his sister had driven him to work 18-hour days, developing new technologies that might give humanity a fighting chance. "The problem isn't our weapons," he explained to General Patricia Stone, the woman now leading Earth's unified military command. "It's our ships. We're building them like Earth vessels, but space is different. We need to think like survivors, not soldiers." Around them, the underground facility buzzed with activity. Engineers from every nation worked side by side, sharing technologies that had been state secrets just months before. The alien invasion had accomplished what centuries of diplomacy could not. It had united humanity against a common enemy. Chief Engineer Viktor Petrov, a former Russian submarine designer, unveiled his latest creation. We call it the Ghost-class stealth frigate. It's built from salvaged alien materials and powered by a modified fusion core. The hull can absorb most sensor sweeps. The ship looked nothing like traditional human designs. It was angular and predatory, with weapon ports hidden behind retractable armor plates. Every system had been designed for one purpose: to strike hard and disappear before the enemy could respond. Meanwhile, in the asteroid belt, Commander Lisa Park was leading a different kind of resistance. Her ragtag fleet of converted mining ships and cargo haulers harassed alien supply lines, using their intimate knowledge of the solar system's hidden dangers. The key is thinking like pirates, not naval officers, Park explained during a coded transmission to Earth. These aliens are used to fighting civilized species who follow rules. We're going to show them what uncivilized looks like. Her crews had developed tactics that would have been considered war crimes in human conflicts. They mined shipping lanes with improvised explosives, used asteroids as cover for ambush attacks, and even turned mining lasers into crude but effective weapons. The aliens responded with increasing brutality, but this only strengthened human resolve. Every destroyed colony, every civilian transport vaporized by alien weapons, created 10 new volunteers for the resistance. Humanity had learned a hard lesson about the galaxy, and they were determined to teach one in return. Dr. Cross's breakthrough came when his team successfully reverse-engineered alien shielding technology. The discovery was shared instantly with every human ship and station. For the first time since the war began, human vessels could survive more than a few minutes in direct combat with alien warships. The tide was beginning to turn, but victory was still far away. The Zephyrian Collective controlled dozens of star systems and had resources that dwarfed Earth's industrial capacity. Humanity needed allies, and Dr. Cross believed he knew where to find them. His analysis of captured alien communications had revealed something interesting. The Zephyrians weren't the only power in the galaxy, and they weren't universally loved. There were other species, other civilizations that had suffered under Zephyrian expansion. If humanity could find them and forge alliances, the war might become winnable. Unlikely Alliance's Captain Rebecca Torres piloted her stealth ship through the Kepler Nebula, following coordinates extracted from captured Zephyrian data cores. Her mission was simple in concept, but potentially suicidal in execution: make contact with the hegemony, a collection of species that had been fighting the Zephyrians for over a century. The hegemony's reply to humanity's first diplomatic message had been characteristically blunt: meet us at the designated coordinates. Come alone. Any deception will result in immediate termination. Torres had volunteered immediately, despite knowing it was likely a death sentence. Her ship, the U.E.'s Whisper, was one of Dr. Cross's latest designs. It incorporated alien technology in ways that would have seemed impossible years before. The hull was a composite of human steel and Zephyrian biometal, while the engines used principles stolen from alien propulsion systems. The meeting point was a dead system, its star having gone nova millennia ago. Torres found the hegemony fleet waiting in the shadow of a burned-out planet. 12 ships of wildly different designs, representing species she had never imagined. The flagship was clearly of Corthonian origin, a crystalline construct that looked more like a work of art than a warship. Beside it floated a Drakari vessel, all curves and organic flowing lines. The other ships represented species whose names Torres didn't even know. Human vessel, you will dock with our flagship, came the transmission in heavily accented standard. English, your captain will meet with the War Council. Any signs of treachery will result in your immediate destruction. Torres entered the alien ship with only a small translation device and a sidearm she knew would be useless against advanced alien technology. The docking bay was huge, designed to accommodate vessels of many different configurations. Gravity was slightly lighter than Earth normal, and the air tasted of ozone and unfamiliar chemicals. The war council chamber was a testament to cooperation born of necessity. Representatives of 6 different species sat around a circular table, their forms ranging from humanoid to utterly alien. At the head of the table sat General Vex Korthig, a being that looked like living crystal given intelligence and purpose. So, Korthig's voice resonated through the chamber like wind chimes in a storm. The young predators from Earth wish to join our ancient war. Tell me, human, what can your species offer that we have not already tried? Torres had prepared for this question during the long journey through hyperspace. She activated a holographic projector and showed the council footage from recent human attacks on Zephyrian positions. The battles were brutal and chaotic, nothing like the ordered warfare the council members were accustomed to. "We don't fight like civilized species," Torres said simply. "We fight like we're desperate, because we are. Your peoples have been fighting this war for a century, following rules and conventions. We've been fighting for 2 years, and we don't know what rules are." One of the council members, a serpentine being with scales that shifted color, leaned forward. "Interesting. The Zephyrians expect certain behaviors from their enemies. Perhaps unpredictability could be ... useful." The negotiations continued for hours. The hegemony had resources, advanced technology, established supply lines, knowledge of Zephyrian weaknesses. Humanity had something equally valuable, a completely different approach to warfare that confused and frustrated their mutual enemy. The alliance was formalized with a simple ceremony. Each species contributed something symbolic to a central repository. Torres offered a small vial of earth soil, representing humanity's determination to protect their homeworld at any cost. When she returned to human space, Torres carried with her the coordinates of Hegemony Supply Depot's technical specifications for advanced weapon systems, and most importantly, proof that humanity was not alone in their fight against extinction. The tide of War Admiral Jackson Rivers stood on the command deck of the UES Vengeance, flagship of humanity's new battle fleet. 2 years of desperate fighting had transformed Earth's ragtag defense force into something that even the Zephyrians had learned to fear. The ship around him was a fusion of human engineering and alien technology, bristling with weapons that would have been science fiction just years before. "Admiral, we're receiving the final positioning reports from all task forces," reported Communications Officer Amy Chun. Her voice was steady, despite the magnitude of what they were about to attempt. Operation Starfall was humanity's first major offensive, targeting the Zephyrian stronghold in the Proxima system. Rivers studied the tactical display with satisfaction. 37 human warships, supported by twice as many hegemony vessels, were converging on Proxima from 6 different vectors. The battle plan was quintessentially human, complex, risky, and completely unexpected by conventional military standards. Captain Alina Rodriguez, commanding the assault carrier UES Prometheus, reported in from the fleet's vanguard. Strike fighters are launched and proceeding to target. The Draken Squadron is particularly eager to test their new plasma torpedoes. The Draken Squadron was typical of humanity's new military philosophy. The pilots were former racing drivers, stunt flyers, and even a few ex-smugglers. They flew ships that were part human engineering, part salvaged alien technology, and part pure inspiration. Most military academies would have called their tactics suicide missions. Most human pilots called them Tuesday. The Zephyrian Defense Fleet was waiting as expected. 43 massive warships arranged in perfect formation, their bioorganic hulls gleaming with malicious purpose. They had held this system for decades, using it as a staging ground for attacks deeper into hegemony space. "Enemy fleet is hailing us, Admiral," reported Chun. "Standard surrender demand. They're offering to spare our crews if we withdraw immediately. Rivers smiled grimly. Send them our standard reply. The message was brief and to the point. It consisted of a single human phrase that had become famous throughout the galaxy. Come and take it. The battle began with a coordinated strike by human stealth ships. Unlike previous engagements, this wasn't a desperate defensive action. The humans had spent months planning this attack, studying every detail of Zephyrian tactics and technology. Dr. Cross's latest weapon systems proved devastatingly effective. The new quantum torpedoes punched through Zephyrian bioarmor like it was paper, while improved shield generators allowed human ships to survive return fire that would have vaporized earlier vessels. Commander Park's mining fleet had been refitted. As assault ships, their cargo holds filled with a particularly nasty human innovation, swarm missiles. Each missile was small and relatively weak, but they attacked in groups of hundreds, overwhelming alien point defense systems through sheer numbers. The hegemony forces coordinated perfectly with their human allies, their own advanced weapons, adding precision strikes to humanity's chaotic assault. For the first time in the war, the Zephyrians found themselves outgunned and outmaneuvered. The battle raged for 18 hours. When it ended, the Proxima system belonged to the Alliance. More importantly, the captured Zephyrian data cores contained information that would change the course of the war. The location of the collective's primary breeding worlds, their resource production centers, and most critically, the coordinates of their ancient homeworld. Rivers stood among the wreckage of the Zephyrian flagship, watching his crew's salvage alien technology and rescue prisoners. The victory was complete, but he knew it was only the beginning. The Zephyrians would respond with everything they had, and humanity needed to be ready. Admiral Chun approached with a decoded message from Earth Command. Priority transmission from Dr. Cross. He says he's made another breakthrough. Something about weaponizing gravity itself. Rivers nodded. The war was far from over, but for the first time since it began, he believed humanity might actually win. The galaxy had underestimated Earth's children, and that mistake would cost the Zephyrians everything. Earth of an Empire President Maria Santos stood before the assembled representatives of 47 star systems, each one recently liberated from Zephyrian control. The chamber was a hastily converted cargo bay on Luna Station, but the moment was historic nonetheless. Humanity was no longer fighting for mere survival. They were building something new. The old galaxy is dead, Santos declared, her voice carrying to every corner of human space through quantum communication networks. The Zephyrians showed us that peace through weakness is an illusion. Today, we forge a new path forward. The war had ended 6 months ago, with the complete destruction of the Zephyrian collective's homeworld. Dr. Cross's gravity weapons had proven devastatingly effective, turning the planet's own mass against it in a display of power that sent shockwaves throughout the galaxy. Captain Torres, now promoted to Fleet Admiral, commanded the largest military force in known space. The Terran Defense Fleet included not just human vessels, but ships crewed by dozens of species that had joined the Alliance during the final years of the war. Former enemies had become brothers in arms, united by their shared struggle against extinction. The treaty being signed today would establish the Terran Empire, with Earth as its capital and humanity as its guiding force. It wasn't conquest through violence, but leadership earned through sacrifice. Every species in the chamber had volunteered to join, recognizing that humanity's unconventional approach to warfare had saved them all. Admiral Rivers, now serving as the Empire's first Minister of Defense, outlined the new military doctrine. We will never again allow a single power to threaten the freedom of inhabited worlds. The Terran fleet will patrol trade routes, protect colonies, and ensure that what happened to us never happens to anyone else. The economic implications were staggering. Human industrial techniques, combined with alien technology and resources. From dozens of worlds, were creating unprecedented prosperity. Former mining stations had become major trade hubs, while Earth itself was rapidly becoming the galaxy's diplomatic and cultural center. Dr. Cross had been appointed as the Empire's first science director, overseeing research facilities on 17 different worlds. His teams were working on projects that would have been unimaginable before the war, terraforming dead worlds, extending human lifespans, and even preliminary experiments in faster-than-light travel. "The irony isn't lost on me," Cross confided to Santos after the ceremony. "The Zephyrians attacked us because they thought we were too violent, too unpredictable. But our violence saved the galaxy from their tyranny, and our unpredictability is now driving innovation across dozens of worlds." The signing ceremony concluded with the raising of the new Terran flag, Earth's blue and green, surrounded by stars representing every member world. As the anthem played, a joint human-alien composition that had become famous during the war, Santos reflected on how far they had come. 5 years ago, humanity had been a single-world species, barely beginning to explore their own solar system. Today, they led an interstellar empire spanning hundreds of light years. The transformation had been bought with blood and determination, but it had also revealed something important about human nature. When faced with extinction, humanity didn't surrender or despair. They adapted, they innovated, and they fought back with everything they had. The galaxy had tried to destroy them, and instead had forged them into something stronger than anyone had imagined possible. The Terran Empire would face new challenges in the years to come. There were other powers in the galaxy, other threats lurking in unexplored regions of space. But humanity had learned the most important lesson of all: they were never truly alone, as long as they stood together. As the ceremony ended and representatives began planning the future, one thing was certain: the galaxy would never underestimate Earth's children again. The Terran Empire had been born in fire and forged in battle, and it would endure for generations to come.